Hi everybody, my name is Mariam Salahi. We're gonna explain items of skeleton. Her name is Barbie. Let's start with cranial bones. We have cranial here. This is frontal. I show you on the skeleton, the pointer. It's total is cranium and it's frontal bone. Parietal bones, we have two parietals, right parietals and left parietals. Temporal bones, temporal, we have two right temporal and left temporal. Zygomatic process, we have here right zygomatic and left zygomatic process. Mastoid process, mastoid are here. I can show you mastoid, right mastoid process, and we have left mastoid. Mastoid processes are exactly on temporal bones. Then we have occipital bone. Occipital bone. Occipital is here, and we have foramen magnum. Foramen magnum is here. That's the spine. Exactly passes on it. Foramen magnum, and I can show you the foramen magnum here. If you take a look, foramen magnum is here. It's foramen magnum. Occipital protuberance. Let's pick up skull and body. Occipital protuberance. Then superior and inferior orbital fissure. We take a look. It's superior and inferior. Take a look exactly here. It's superior and inferior orbital fissure. Lacrimal bone is here. Lacrimal bone and lacrimal fossa. Then maxilla. Maxilla zygomatic bone. We have zygomatic right and left zygomatic bone. Hard palate. Hard palate includes maxilla and palatine bones. It contains two parts. So take a look. Here it's palatine bone. Palatine. Okay. See the palatine bones here. A hard palate. Coronal, we gonna show you the sutures. Sutures are on the skull, and the first one is coronal or frontal suture. Here it's coronal from here to here. It's coronal or frontal suture. Lambdoidal or occipital suture. It's lambdoidal here, lambdoidal or occipital suture. The squamosal, we have two squamosal. One is here, one, and the second is the left one is squamous, is here, squamosal. Let's take a look. I'll show you the squamosal. This squamosal suture. And the sagittal or longitude is here. The midline, exactly. The midline of this one is sagittal or the sagittal or longitudinal suture. Is here. Then we go to mandible, ramus. Ramus and body of mandible is here. Ramus and body of mandible. Then angle of mandible, it's angle of mandible, angle of mandible. Coronoid process, coronoid is here. Show you in the mandible. Coronoid is the coronoid process. It's here. It's coronoid process. Coronoid process is here. It's let me show you here. Maybe. Yeah. It's coronoid process. Coronoid. Mandibular notch is here, and then we're gonna go to vertebra. We have vertebra, they are vertebrals, and atlas is the first vertebra on the cervical region. Then the second one is axis on cervical region. Thoracic region is from here, thoracic is from here till here. And the lumbar region from here, then after thoracic, it starts the lumbar region till sacral. And sacral is here, it's sacral. Vertebra parts, body of vertebra. Maybe I can show you that the body of vertebra in here. Because each vertebra constitute of one body. It's the body of vertebra. The body of vertebra. It should be here, but I cannot show you exactly here, but it's the body exactly. It's the body, and spinous process. The spinous process. It's the process of vertebrals. I can show you here. It's a spinous process. Spinous process. And transverse process. Transverse process. We have here. They are transverse processing. Transverse. And transverse foramen. Transverse foramen, maybe I can show you here. They are foramen, but exactly the foramen that the two vertebrae match to each other, fit to each other, like transverse foramen, like because the spine exactly passes one here, the transverse foramen, but and intervertebral foramen. Intervertebral foramen is here. I can show you. Right. It's intervertebral foramen. That's the spine exactly pass in it. And intervertebral disc. Intervertebral disc are disc that's put between two vertebrae. Intervertebral discs. We're gonna go to the sternum. We have a sternum here. Here is manubrium, the body of the sternum, and xiphoid process. Ribs, true ribs are from 1 to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are true ribs, and 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 are false ribs. We're gonna go to appendicular skeleton. I'm gonna show you the appendicular parts. First, we start with clavicle. We have clavicle that it has two ends. One is manubrium. One is sternal end. I can show you a sternal end here, and that sternal end attaches to mandible. And one is acromion end, that we have acromioclavicular joint here. It's acromion end that we have acromion clavicular joint here. I can show you exactly on body. We have glenoid cavity that's on the scapular bone. Glenoid cavity is a shallow cavity on the scapular. It belongs to the scapular bone, and it's a shallow cavity that the other name is glenoid fossa. That exactly the humerus, the head of humerus, fits on glenoid cavity. Acromion process. Acromion process is here. Is acromion process. I can show you exactly. It's acromion process. And the other one is the spine on the posterior part of the scapula. I can show you the spine. And infraspinous fossa. Infraspinous fossa is here. Infraspinous fossa, supraspinous fossa, and subscapular fossa. Now we're gonna go to humerus. Humerus is here. We have head of humerus. Let me show you better. Head of humerus. We have head of humerus here. It's the head of humerus. Let me show you my pointer better. It's head of humerus, and we have greater tubercle. Greater tubercle is here, and lesser tubercle. Greater tubercle and lesser tubercle. Then we have chronoid fossa. We're gonna go to the inferior part of humerus. Exactly is chronoid fossa, olecranon fossa, the posterior part of humerus, olecranon fossa. Lateral epicondyle. Lateral epicondyle is here. Lateral epicondyle and medial epicondyle. Exactly, it's lateral epicondyle and medial. Let me show you lateral epicondyle and medial epicondyle. That exactly we have the same chronoid fossa and on the right hands, exactly on the right olecranon, but I show you on the one. And radius and ulna. Radius is radius. I can show you radius here. It's radius, and we have ulna here. Exactly the same on the right hand. And olecranon process. Olecranon process is here that I can show you that it makes the ankle, it makes the knee. No, it's not knee. Sorry, it's elbow. It's elbow joint, and so we can touch it on our hands here. It's olecranon process. And carpal bones. Carpal bones are on hands that I can show you. And Barbie, it's carpal hands we have here that makes the wrist, bone wrists here, carpal, and we have metacarpals here, that's palm, makes palms, metacarpals, and phalanges that we have three parts, proximal, medial, and distal phalanges. I can show you better here, proximal, medial, and distal phalanges. Then we're gonna go to the ilium. We have ilium, the right and left ones. We have iliac crest here, iliac crest. Here is iliac crest. Iliac crest is here, and we have iliac fossa, anterior, superior iliac spine is here. It's anterior, superior iliac spine, and sacroiliac joint is here. That exactly joins with sacroiliac joints. And we have ischial tuberosity. If you take a look to the ischial, I can show you on the posterior. It's ischial tuberosity. It's ischial tuberosity. And pubic symphysis. Pubic symphysis, that's a fibrocartilage here. Pubic symphysis. Acetabulum that I can show you here. That acetabulum, exactly the head of femur fits into the acetabulum. We have acetabulum here, and obturator foramen that I can show you in the here's obturator foramen. Then we're gonna go to the femur. It's the femur or thigh bone. That the head, I can show you the head. It's the head and neck of femur. We have greater trochanter and lesser trochanter, greater and lesser trochanter. And then we're gonna go to lateral epicondyle. I can show you here. The lateral epicondyle. It's here. It's lateral epicondyle. I can show you here. It's lateral epicondyle and medial epicondyle. Padula surface is here. Padula surface. And we're gonna go to. We're gonna show you the tibia. Tibia. Okay, tibia. I can show you the tibia. It's we have tibia and fibula here. Tibia and fibula. And then I'm gonna show you the malleolus. Let me show you here. Okay, malleolus. It's malleolus lateral. We have medial malleolus and lateral malleolus here. Lateral malleolus. We have talus. Talus is here. We have talus. Calcaneus, that is the heel bone, and metatarsals, and then the final thing is phalanges. That I'm going to show you the phalanges. We have three parts for phalanges. First is proximal, medial, and distal phalanges. It has each phalanges has three parts: proximal, medial, and distal. Thank you for your consideration, and thank you from Professor Abulay. Good luck. I hope that you learn different parts of axial and appendicular parts of the skeleton. Thank you and good luck. Bye-bye.